What's up? Let's get back to it. So, I'm running over stuff. So, yeah, like I was explaining, I think I told you guys about my homie that was related to the opposite people, and I just had to tell you his story about his little brother because his little brother was the one who helped me get away from that situation when I was at that quinceañera I wasn't supposed to be at because I went because I don't know who I thought I was, but I decided to go anyways. So, like I said, I was at my ended up back at my boy's house with his older brother, and then told his older brother what happened. And like I said earlier, he said that he was gonna, check his brother, make sure that never happens again. And he scolded him. And then that morning, we woke up and we got on the porch. Like I said, he had some weed, and we started smoking. So, I don't know why I feel like I should tell you guys a little bit more about some of our stories with like I had this nurse just to give you an idea of how mature we were and the things we were experiencing was not normal anyways. So when I started going to junior high, I explained to you guys that I needed a nurse, a teacher's aide, all of the above. And one time, because they literally had me with a teacher's aide and then I had a nurse, and it was too much. So they finally found a nurse who was a teacher's aide, I guess. She was like two in one. And they explained to me, they go, "We found this lady. She's going to be working with you. She's a nurse. She's a teacher's aide also. Um, she's going to be coming to meet you today. Um, and she's from Portage." And when I heard she's from Portage, no disrespect, but where I'm from, there's mainly Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, very, very few Caucasian people. And when they told me that I was gonna have a nurse from Portage, I was like, wait a minute, those are Caucasian people. And where I'm from, there's no Caucasian people, and I'm from the hood. And every time I see Caucasian people in movies or stuff, they're a little different. They're like more open. I don't know how to explain it. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, they don't know what they're doing, giving me a nurse from Portage, a ghetto kid who's mature and who's been around, who knows some things. So as I'm thinking this, sure enough, I meet my nurse, and when I meet her, she's a Caucasian lady. She, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, man, you look like like I think I can get in your head, and if I could get in your head, I want to see what's possible. What are the possibilities? What are my capabilities of an older woman? And I know that sounds inappropriate. I know, but like I said before my accident, I was very experienced. I was with women already, girls, and I knew that older women were interested in me. I had older women approach me, never did anything with me. I never did anything with them, but I knew I had the capability of being with older women before my accident. I don't know about after my accident. Well, no, I haven't and didn't. But anyways, so I'm like, and this is before I was like, let me see if I could. So I have this woman. She walks in. I see her. I look her up and down, and I go, oh man, yeah, let's see what we could do with this. So they had to help me use the bathroom because I can help myself go pee now because I've had surgeries to do so. So before these surgeries, so I don't know if I explained this already, but I'm able to move my fingers a little bit and make a grip. And because of that, I could grab, my catheter now. And then I had another surgery to go through my belly button instead of my urethra, which is located on your private for men. That hole in the tip, you put the catheter in, and then you go so deep, and then the pee comes out. So I had surgery to go through my belly button. If I had my appendix, they would use my appendix and form the tunnel from my belly button to my bladder. But I lost my appendix when I was 4, so they had to use a piece of my intestines. Anyways, back to it. So, uh, as I'm looking at this woman and trying to figure out if I could do anything with her, I was like, let's see what we could do. or and I was waiting for an opportunity. So she was helping me use the bathroom, and as she was helping me use the bathroom, I forgot how she started showing me pictures, and it was like pictures of her being out with her friends. And when I was looking at that, I was like, "Here we go. Here's the opportunity." I go, "So I see you showing me pictures," which I was like, "Why is she showing me pictures of her being out drinking with her friends? Like this is inappropriate. This could get you fired if anything. I'm not a snitch though, but." If I was, and I was one of those kids like, oh my God, guess what my nurse is doing? She's showing me pictures of her and her friends. I'm pretty sure she would have gotten in trouble. The principal probably would have asked her, what are you showing him? What pictures are you showing him? And she only had, and this is 2005, 2006. So this isn't on her cell phone. These are literally pictures that, like, I don't know what they're even called now, Polaroids. She was literally showing me pictures that she had in her purse, not on her phone. So out of nowhere, I go, Miss, you know where we're at, right? And she goes, we're in school in the nurse's office. And I go, no. You know we're in the hood, right? She goes, yeah, I've been told this is kind of. And I go, so that being said, where are the X-rated pictures? Where are the R-rated pictures at? Thinking she was going to get defensive or mad, you know what I mean? Like how a normal person should get, you know? She goes, oh, I do got those too, but I don't know if I could show you those. I don't know if I could trust you if you're going to tell anybody. And I go, what? Do you know where we're at? We're in the hood. If I tell anybody, I'm going to look bad. So you should show me. And then that's when she was like, no, no. And mind you, this is like our first, if I'm not mistaken, the first day or not the first week. And I was like, okay, I'm going to work on it. I'm going to work on her. So sure enough, I'm looking at her and I forgot how I figured out, but I could tell that she smoked weed. And I was like, so do you smoke weed? I don't know if this was the first day or first week, but we started hanging out very, very soon. And she started showing me these pictures very, very soon. So when I realized that, I was like, okay, what else can we do? So I said, I forgot how we got into the conversation, but we got into the conversation that she smoked weed. And I was like, wow, you smoke weed? And she goes, yeah, I wish I had some. I'm looking for an ounce and this, and that. And at the time, I told you my homie had took me out to the south side. And then the south side is this gang that we're affiliated with, or I was. It was just a different set. But they had trap houses, they had people who sold things, and stuff like that. So I told her, I go, well, if you need weed, I could help you get weed. I don't know if you have somebody already, but I have somebody. And she goes, you do? And I go, yeah. All you got to do. And my mom, she trusted me and always knew I was mature for my age, and she had a lot of trust in me, and she always trusted me. So, um, when I went home and told my mom, my nurse is coming over, to potentially take me and my homie, to take her to go buy some marijuana. And my mom was like, oh my gosh. And I already knew so my mom was, she indulged in alcohol a lot. And my mom was kind of easy. If you bought her a 6-pack or a 12-pack or a case, you can do whatever you want. So I told this woman that, I go, my mom might think it's a little weird you coming to hang out with us, or you picking me up to take you to help you get this stuff, So to break the ice, you should buy my mom a 6-pack or a 12-pack. And she goes, what does your mom drink? And I go, Miller Lite. And she goes, oh, I got you. I could do that. I'll buy your mom, some of that. So she'll leave us alone, or, so she'll let her guard down and be cool. And I was like, if you do that, then we're Gucci. And sure enough, I was telling my mom, like, Mom, I have this nurse and she just needs some weed, and um we're gonna help her get it. If is that okay? And she's bringing you some beer. Oh, I don't care. She's bringing me some beer. I know you'll be fine. And then I told her, and then my homie showed up, and I was like, he's coming with me. He's gonna help me, and we're gonna go get her some stuff. So, man, we're young. I'm not a thief. I'm really not. But because this woman was coming to buy marijuana off of us, I'm like, man, we're gonna. Of course, she told me she was gonna give us some, but I'm like, man, she's not gonna give us what she's getting, you know. And I got a little sad that she was getting a whole ounce, and man. So the hood in me came out a little bit, or I don't even know if that's hood, man. That's it's pretty pathetic, honestly, if you think about it. So, but anyways, so me and my friend came up with an idea to split it in half. When he went in there, he was going to tell the guys the truth, like, hey, man, I got this woman out here. She wants the whole thing, but, me and Joey want half of it. So if you could split it in half, and we're just going to tell her it's the whole thing. Hopefully she doesn't know. Man, this man came out, and I knew it was, because I know what a whole thing looks like, a whole ounce. So when he showed up and he gave her what he gave her, she looked at him and she looked at me and she goes, so this is a whole ounce? And we go, yeah, yeah. And she goes, okay, whatever. And we knew that she knew. Anyway, so we took our half and anyway, so the next time we hung out, we were in the nurse's office, and I was like, man, I want to go for gold. You know what I mean? I want to see what I could do with this woman, if this woman is even about that. So as we're in the nurse's office, I'm like, miss, I got a date today and I'm really scared and nervous about it and this and that. And she was like, why are you scared to go on a date? And I was like, because I haven't been on a date since my accident. Um, and what if she wants to kiss? And I haven't kissed in so long. And I don't even know if I know how to kiss still or how to kiss or whatever. And then that's when she goes, so you don't remember how to kiss? And I was like, I mean, I knew how to kiss before my accident. I was kissing girls left to right, but it's been however long it was, I told her, since I kissed somebody. And then that's when she goes, well, if it's for teaching purposes, I could show you how to kiss. And I go, really? And she goes, yeah, yeah. If you want, I'll show you. I'll teach you. And in my head, I'm like, here we go. Mind you, this is all in junior high. Anyway, so I was like, yeah, teach me. So I'm sitting in my manual chair. She's sitting right next to me. And she goes, meet me halfway. And I go, okay. So she leans in and I'm in my chair. So there's only so much I could do. So I'm like trying to lean over, you know what I mean, to go for it. And I kept slipping. But anyway, so I don't know, it was like a little, nothing crazy, but it was a little kiss. And she was like, that's how you do it. And this, and that. And I was like, man, I want to go for gold, man. What the fuck? I want to do more. So anyways, so I was always curious if she was the type of woman to do more. And then sure enough, so my other friend, I kind of feel like that was in him to take things and stuff like that, because you'll be the judge of that. Anyways, so one day, as I'm wondering if it was even possible for me to hook up with this woman, if I was walking or non-walking, my friend that I keep telling you guys about that learned how to take care of me and went to the hotel party. Me and this guy were very much alike. We had a lot of things in common. We were like 70% alike in a lot of aspects, in a lot of ways. So when it comes to getting women, I knew we were very much alike. He had game. If anything, he probably had more game than I did. He probably could get more women than I can. So if there was any man or anybody in my age group that could pull this off, it would be him if it wasn't me. So sure enough, one day I come to school, and as I'm in school, this woman, she is as red as a cherry. Her face is just extremely red. You can tell she's extremely mad. And I'm like, what could she possibly be mad about? So I remember she didn't tell me anything until we got to lunch. So as we're at lunch, this woman goes, you know your friend that you always hang around with, the one that always comes with us when we hang out, because me and this woman, she took us out a few times, even after I feel like she knew she got robbed. And she would drive us around. We would smoke in the car. Um, she would provide the weed, and after that, sometimes she would just buy a dime or a 20, and she would give us a blunt and smoke a blunt with us. So we would, my friend would roll the blunt and we'll smoke in the car ride around that she'll drop us off. So, anyways, I guess because this was a Monday that I'm in school and she's mad. She has this super red face, like I said. So during lunch, she goes, "Hey, you know your friend, the friend that you're always with, the one that's always with us?" I go, "Yeah." Mind you, this guy knew everybody from everywhere, so he had friends in Portage. And I guess he was hanging with his friends in Portage. So, anyways, let me just tell you what this woman tells me. So she goes, "I need you to tell your friend to give me back my kids' game system." And when she said that, I was like, "Oh man, I already know she's not lying." Like, because I already know what my friend is like. Uh he has sticky fingers, I feel like. And so, anyways, so but when she told me that, I ain't gonna lie, I got a little jealous. You know what I mean? I'm like, wait a minute. So you're admitting to me that this man was at your house? And then that's when she got smart because she didn't want to fully admit because she didn't want me to know the full extent. And I think she knew where I was going with this because I wasn't gonna tell my boy, even though he hooked up with my nurse and I wanted to hook up with her first. I'm not no snitch. So she goes, "No." I go, "So then how did he end up in your house? I don't understand. Like, how did he get the opportunity to supposedly take your kid's stuff?" "What? We always smoke, don't we?" And I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Well, I was at the gas station getting gas. I saw your friend. And when I saw your friend, I was like, what are the odds? I needed something rolled up, because we smoked blunts and she was smoking joints and pipes and stuff like that." She was like, "When I saw your friend and he was with another guy, and the other guy looked cool, he was Caucasian also, or he looked Caucasian." So I think that's what she meant, because she saw another fellow Caucasian person with the guy. Anyway, so she goes, "I know I could trust your friend, because we always hang out. And when I saw the person he was with, the guy looked cool. So, when I asked him, like, 'Hey man, can you roll up for me? Do you want to smoke?' He was like, 'Sure, but we can only smoke at your house.'" She goes, "So I just brought them back to my house so we could smoke. We started smoking. I got tired. I accidentally fell asleep. And when I fell asleep, my kids came in my room crying and told me that their game systems were gone and all their games." Oh man, I'm like, "Yo, bro, this dude's just savage. I already know she's not lying." But I'm not throwing my homie under the bus, and that's her fault for choosing him instead of me. So that's when she goes, "So can you please give me my stuff back?" I go, "I don't think so." And she goes, "Why? You just need to tell him to give me my stuff back and he'll listen to you." And I go, again, I don't get why he was at your house when you're a grown woman. So if you want to go tell the principal that and have the principal figure it out, we could do that way because I'm not saying nothing." And she got so mad. She really thought that I was going to stick up for her. No, you shouldn't have been, which I know I'm going to sound like a hypocrite because I know I was trying to get with her, but in my mind, I'm like, you shouldn't have kids at your house. You know what I mean? Like, and if you did have kids at your house, it should have been me. It's like, but so in my mind, I'm like, you messed up, man. Like, you shouldn't have chilled with that guy. You shouldn't have chilled with people you really don't know. I know you said you trust him because of me, but I didn't tell you to trust him. Never told you to trust that guy. I only told you that he can help us, when we hang out. So you chilling with this underage kid is on you. So, and she knew exactly where I was coming from. So sure enough, if I'm not mistaken, that was the end of her being cool and friendly with us and, smoking and taking us on rides and stuff like that. And it's just mind blowing to me, the things that we did. So just want to give you an example of how mature we were I think we were, and the things we were doing. Like I already said, I already knew I was doing things that most people weren't doing in their whole life. When I would watch movies and stuff like that, and I'll look at my life, I'm like, wait a minute, people aren't doing the things I'm doing until they get a certain age. And I'm doing this at 12 or did that already and did this already. And so I already knew I was very mature for my age because of things like that. So yeah, I feel like I had to tell you guys that. I don't know why, but random things come to my head and I'm just trying to get it out, like I said, from A to Z. So bear with me. Um, so and this is a continuation of where we left off. So like I said, we went from me getting injured to the first hospital I went to, which was Loyola, and then Shriners. And then after Shriners, we were homeless with my grandfather. And then after my grandfather, my aunt, and then my mom's best friend. And now this is us living in the projects, and this is me going to school now. So this is probably for sure '06. So we went from 2005 to 2006. So, and I moved to Colorado in 2010. So we got 4 years to go. I hope this is all interesting. I hope I'm motivating people, inspiring people. Just want to get my story out there because I think it's crazy how I went from being homeless to the projects to Colorado. And of course, by the grace of God. But God had put these people in my life to help me get here. And I'm just going to explain how these people helped me get here. Because if it wasn't for these people and my mother, I don't know where I would be. So thank you, God. So please, if you're liking what you're hearing and you're feeling motivated, like, share, subscribe. If you know anybody that needs to be, motivation or inspiration, please reach out to me on my Facebook through here. I'll find a way to read my messages one day because I'm not a tech person, not very good with technology. And for those who are listening, thank you so much. And yeah, tune in for next time. And like I said, we're in 2006 of my life. So yeah, continue to listen and thank you so much for everybody listening.